for the plot, but we all know it is probably not. Little chat with another slice of life. Biggles keeps talking about another villainess. And a company beside it, and you there. Watashi tachi wa sorera wa subete vunseiki shimasu. It's the Biggles breakdown, another anime night, fighting all the shows and the plots. It's time for the Biggles breakdown. Breakdown.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Biggles Breakdown. My name is Biggles Metz, and I have to behave today because people are looking to buy my house while I'm here. So I have to be best behavior while live. But I am joined by my co-host, Crimson Lolly, the elite Gooner Knight.
I'm just Crimson Law.
He gave up his Lolly title and his Dami Mommy title. Shame. All right.
What would like a sadistic lolly dommy mommy character even look like?
You.
Okay, you know what? Okay, well played. Fair enough.
Go ahead and show.
Well played, sir.
Go ahead and
well
show
played.
your little
My titties.
your AI drawing. That again, the little gravel. That's exactly what it would look like.
What, this?
Yeah, it would look just like that with its little gavel.
Did you call it gravel? Oh,
Yes, I did.
Oh, Biggles. Biggles never change. Biggles. Never change.
He's channeling his inner Captain Hibana.
Yes. Muffler tape. Yo, boys. Hello, muffler tape. All right. So what we're going to do is what we did last year during spring. We're going to do our top 5 so far. So we left off stuff that came in from that started last season. So sort of the Demon Hunter is out of it. I think otherwise 2 of us would have added on there.
Yeah, if it was just a continuous second core where it was just running into it, we didn't count it. Now, if it's a brand new season after a break, it does count. Like Domadan, My Dress Up Darling, Rascal, those are all eligible.
Yes, correct.
Oh, I don't know. Rent a Kaiju. Yeah.
Hey, little Chad, we can't get me going.
We can't get him riled up on this tonight, dude.
I can't.
All right.
I can't.
I know that you've got people in the house, and so I'm part of me just wants to make you have to go Vesuvius.
I can't cost people buying my house because I lose my mind. So we also left off stuff that is already finished. So our 2 little mini series, Togepi Original Sin, which would have been on Crimson's, and See You Tomorrow at the Food Court.
It would have been on mine too. I mean, both of the mini seasons I think were fantastic for very different. I mean, they're very different animes.
One's happy and funny, and the other one's sad and awesome because of child abuse. I mean, all right, but.
I'm just going to go through and start clipping shorts from the last 4 weeks episode.
Oh, wrong. That is just so terribly wrong, Biggles.
All right, so let's start with Crimson's number 5. Now, I know nothing about this show, so Crimson is going to have to tell us all about this show and tell us why it is in his top 5.
Okay, so let's get started with one of my new favorite romance animes that has come out this season. And I had heard a lot of hype around this one. A lot of people were very, very excited about this coming out, so I decided I would check it out. And effectively, to sum it up, it is basically like the most wholesome group of friends you will ever encounter. Mostly because it's just everyone being good people, and even though they make mistakes or rub each other the wrong way at times, they're very quick to recognize their mistakes and apologize. So premise is that both the characters featured here on the front cover, so the girl, her name is Kaoruko, and the dude's name is Rintaro, not to be confused with Rentaro. They both go to neighboring schools that are rivals. They're basically 2 schools that just hate each other. And his family runs a bakery. she happens to go to their bakery pretty often. So they become friends in spite of, their schools hating each other and everything. And it's really just a utterly like wholesome, fun experience. Like it's a very like fluffy, make you feel good kind of anime. And even when it does like quote unquote drama stuff, like there's a scene where Karuko's best friend is basically begging Rintaro not to hang around her because she's afraid it'll cost her her scholarship and everything to the school she goes to. And they pretty quickly resolve that whole thing, and it works out to be like, hey, we understood that you were just looking out for your friend. We respect it, so we're just going to overlook it. It's not
Um,
out of your way to like be a bitch to everyone. You were literally just being very polite and asking me to, actually consider your friend's situation.
So
the
what?
one thing I'd say is for most people, you haven't seen this because Netflix is being not friendly to the anime viewer and not premiering this in the United States until
Um,
September. But it
it's
is
so
available.
dumb. It's
And
so
I'm assuming Crimson, like many anime fans, has decided to just go to the high seas.
to quote Lethal Lightning on this one, piracy is morally acceptable when it comes to Crunchyroll or Sony.
Yeah. So I tried to watch Santa Claus. Rascal Doesn't Dream of Santa Claus today or the other day, and literally the dub, like subtitle or not the dub, the subtitles were literally this big, and I could not read a single word. So I had to stop watching it. Like I can't watch it the day it comes out because there's always like last week the subs didn't show up. This week they were this big. Like what is going on? Like only an eagle with those eyes could like read that. Like that's ridiculous. Um, but yeah, I agree. Crunchyroll doesn't deserve our money, even though they have my money.
So
It's-
again, if I have to sell the like I've kind of given the sales pitch of like it's just like a wholesome romance series, a lot like how the Rascal series has been. Um,
Would you compare it favorably to like Honey Lemon Soda or one of those kind recent ones?
it's a little bit less shojo than Honey Lemon Soda. I did like that one.
Yeah,
It's a
because my
little.
wife absolutely, the two that my wife absolutely loved last couple of years were A Sign of Affection and Honey Lemon Soda. So I've been looking for another one in the same vein to, because it's always nice to be able to watch one with your wife.
She may like this one because as insofar as I've seen, it's literally just like there's four guys who or three guys who are Rintaro's friends, and there's one girl who is Kaoruko's friend so far, and they're all just like I don't know, they're good people, they're good friends, they're constantly looking out for each other, and there are some like really good moments like Rintaro almost gets in a fight and his friends immediately jump in to like back him up, even though the girls from the other school who they have a problem with are there, and they're just like, you know what, let's do the right thing here. So all I like I said, my sales pitch is it's wholesome, it's fun, it's very sweet. You want something that's like a nice, relaxing, um, like happy series to watch after you're done tearing your hair out over Shinji Ikari and what he did in End of Evangelion. This is great for it. Yes,
oh,
I've been watching Evangelion. Fuck Shinji Ikari. That little piece of that wank stain deserves some. He deserves some Biggles treatment. Okay,
yeah. He's yeah,
you are
it's
free to
acceptable beat
abuse
up.
the child in this case, Biggles.
For those of you that don't know, Wednesday Crimson has a show for called Fictionology about Evangelion. So go check it out. I'm going to put it in the chat. Um, so do you want to do your number five, little chat?
Yeah, so I think, let me make sure I'm going to make sure I can put them down so I can remember.
You said you had My Dress of Darling, Silent Witch, Dan to Dan, Clevitas, and Ruby Rocks.
Yeah, I'm putting them in my order so that I can remember. Because they're all so good. It's kind of like
They're like 1A, 1B,
Yeah.
1C, 1D, 1E. You're like
All
A,
right.
B, C,
So
D, E. Yeah. Okay.
all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and I would put actually Silent Witch. I'm thinking about it more. It would probably be number 5 out of that grouping for me.
Okay.
It's just a fun.
And Biggles is now ready to strangle you.
I can't. I is because Crimson. You know, like when you're looking at these ones. Because honestly, it would have been easier if I could have included Sword of the Demon Hunter or, some because it
Especially
clarifies
after
it.
this week's episode, yeah.
Oh, this week's episode was fantastic. So good.
They resolved that the best way possible.
And like super fast too. You didn't even have to wait. It was like the first couple of minutes.
And it makes me so happy because with it should be that way because these are his friends for like a decade. They're not going to turn their back. They know, like, especially his and the fact that his daughter wasn't scared. I'm supposed to be talking about Silent Witch, but Sword of the Demon Hunter has been the second core, especially. I've been loving it. It's been so. I know that we're not official because it's a continuation of the first core. If people still haven't gotten in on this, they should because I feel like it's building up. Like I can't wait to see. We're gonna get the backstory on the demon he's fighting, which I think is going to be another banger of a backstory. Because if you know about Japanese history, the period they're talking about was basically the unification period in Japan, where it was immediately post that, where there was anytime there was one ruler who manages to unify everything, there's usually a lot of conflict right after to try to take over for him. So that's going to be. I like how they're doing this where you're getting the very personal story, but it's also against the backdrop of very significant cultural change within Japan. So it gives the story more meaning that way. I think Crimson, as a student of the Japanese culture, is probably also picking up on some of that, where they're really weaving in like his inner conflict as a human who turned into a demon who hunts demons in the context of the giant cultural shift that was opening up Japan to foreign people and the changes that happened as a result of the modern, like, I think people forget because they don't study it here in the United States how impact, like, Japan decided to speed run modernization within about 20 years. They went from, and you can see this in Sword of the Demon Hunter, they were a Middle Ages feudal level system, and after the foreign influence, especially of the Americans who came in, they decided to try to rapidly, within a matter of a decade, become an industrial age factory country. And when you do that kind of rapid change, there's so much significant cultural, and it's such a great way to do it, to have him and his friends who are samurai, who samurai were being replaced because the warrior caste samurais had no purpose in a industrialized, at least that's what they thought. And then Japan, as often happens after a big moment of cultural upheaval, they take a breath and they look back at their history, and there's elements they want to keep, and so they try to bring back some of the samurai culture, samurai ethics code, and things like that. So super interesting to me as someone who really loves Japanese history. Storytelling's fantastic. This core has been, I know it's not as action heavy.
I like it more when it's not action heavy because I like this series storytelling. I think its animation is actually kind of doo doo. It's not T-bait. I don't think anything can possibly be worse than T-bait. But it's not some other series that are out there right now.
Yeah, I will say the one problem that I have, and I don't think, because I've looked at some of the manga designs, the women in this series, at least especially in the 1800s, have such similar designs in their facial, like makeup. It gets very difficult sometimes to figure out, like Crimson's talking about, where the animation is a little bit cost saving, which person initially it is until they give like, unless it's in the the restaurant, and so it's like sometimes when they're walking in the street, if they just
Sometimes you
roll,
literally have to rely on the fact that they
yeah,
usually wear like the same thing over and over again.
exactly, because on the face level, like the one that's in the village he left looks almost exactly like Ofu, and I don't know if that's on purpose, but it makes it sometimes difficult.
I can't tell most of the women apart at times. So like I might have argued with Crimson that it was a different person, like in core one when they were like they were doing a walk, but it didn't look. They weren't talking about flowers, so I didn't think it was Ofu.
I actually confused the adopted sister for
Natsu.
for the village girl. Yeah, Natsu for the village girl that he left behind.
Hmm. Yeah. So anyway, but so if this one had been allowed, I've been from a storytelling. If this could combine the animation quality of Demon Slayer for a lot of it
Mhm.
with the story and writing of this manga, I think it would be epic.
I don't even think it needs that. I mean, look at what Ugly Mug Epic Fighter did this week. Like if it had that quality of animation, it would be significantly improved.
Mhm.
Like it would be like a, oh man, this shit slaps kind of anime.
It would
But
probably
right
be in
now,
contention for anime of the year.
it holds a solid position because of its storytelling.
Mhm.
But I don't think that was what
Mhm.
we were supposed to be talking about, was
No,
it?
Yeah,
no, we're
yeah.
talking. All right, so back to the Silent Witch, which is my number 5. We've talked about it several weeks before leading up to it as we've done the weekly reviews. It continues to just be probably, at least this season, the number one by a mile, like school life fantasy show. I would even say that going back to like the spring, this probably would be the number one of that genre. It still has, and as Biggles is a villainous simp, it has a girl who, even though she's a fake villainous, is playing it so much, I think, even better than some of the villainous shows does it.
She might even be better than Alicia when it comes to being a villainous.
Which is
Oh
nice
wow,
because, yeah, they give her
that's big praise coming from Biggles.
Yeah,
that's
I
high
know.
praise right
I
there.
know. Diabolical,
I
even.
think, yeah, when we've talked about it before, I highlight the fact that it's the supporting characters. It's not just enough to give your main character some cute and good design elements, but to really be a a stand above anime, it's your side characters and your world building. These characters feel like they're really people outside of being in the orbit of the main character. They have their own ways of operating, like just like our villainess. She does not do these things. She does these things out of a sense of obligation and debt to our protagonist, but she's doing it the way she wants to do it with the skills she has that are completely her own way of doing things, and you see how that develops. It's the prince. We've got our our rival who's now going to be her friend because she misinterpreted the romantic advance. I mean, it's just super well done. It's entertaining. It's got occasionally good action beats, but the story just is very engrossing. I love the fact that they're weaving in, as we expected, the backstory of her father being excommunicated and executed as a result of being someone who sought knowledge, which is again has a lot of historical parallels to medieval Europe. And it does explain, especially when you saw the flashback to her uncle who took guardianship of her afterwards, why she was so hesitant and shy and keeping her mouth shut. That's what was drilled into her after such a big trauma. It's just really entertaining and good. So I give high praise for it.
All right, Crimson will be right back. So you're not going to believe this, little chat. And chat might, but I don't think you will, little chat. I am putting this as my number one.
Oh, I mean, it's a villainous. It's gonna
Over
this villain.
over Kaiju number 8. And that's because my favorite part of this season is happening after this episode, or it started at this episode. So like the training montage and all the stuff that goes on during the training of season 2 of Kaiju number 8 is going to be my favorite part. So I'm more excited for the second part of Kaiju number 8 than I am Kaiju, or the first part, even though I really love it. But this one is going to be my favorite. Um, and
Let's be honest, it's because the villainess stole your heart.
it's not even about the villainous, right?
Oh, come on. You know that's, I mean,
That is a huge part. It is a huge part. But
I
it's
know. I see you looking at the picture you put on screen, and your eyes are immediately moving off the main character right onto her, and and you're like, "Oh, look at her! She's being so, so demure over there with her fan." But she'll wreck house. She'll make you drink that, eye drop tea.
she was just like, it's just bitter tea. You would act that way. But no, I really like the way that they handled the entire anime, right? So she comes off as this timid, shy girl, but when you see her, like one of the problems with the dub is that the voice actress who plays Monica sounds way too confident in her voice uh, when she is uh, saying her lines, right?
Oh
And
yeah, the sub is so good about the voice actor like being very dainty and shy until she hits like a math problem or something where the
un-
passion
un-
just explodes.
until she is in her like super comfort zone where she's talking about magic, or when she is doing that chant in this last episode that just happened. And I think this last episode that just happened with like the betrayal and everything, I think that's what pushed it over Kaiju number 8 for me as my number one. I mean, the villainous scene like last week was just diabolical, where she was just like, "Oh, you messed with this house? Like you messed with my house? You poisoned someone with my name? Did you just make an enemy?" And she's like, "Oh," and she's like thinking she's going to get away with it because she's a noble. And they're like, "No, you're going to die, lady." like, oh, and then she's just like, "Monica, I'm going to take care of you. You can stay." And then the maid's just like still chilling there. But at the
How
end,
long have you been here? Since you left.
since you told me to wait here, and she's like, "I'm sorry, I got poisoned." like, and then she's like, "How did you get poisoned? Like you're a sage." But is the barrier guy bad? Because that's what it kind of seems like that he came in right after. Or is he like, someone was messing with my barrier? It had to be you. Are you trying to ruin this?
I think it's the latter where he remember because when she's like, "What did he say?" He basically challenged her to find it. Like, ho ho
Um,
ho. By the way, the dub actress was hilarious doing like his
oh yeah,
voice.
I watched it again. I
Yeah,
watched. So I watched both the sub and the dub because I like this one, and I do the same with Kaiju number 8. Because watching Kaiju number 8 live is awesome because it's like Kaiju alert, and then it gives you all this propaganda. It's like join the defense force. It's like so like if you don't watch it live, you miss out so much cool stuff that happens in between the cuts. And then I just go straight to the dub right after, uh, and then I start working on my videos. But I haven't done a Kaiju number 8 video in 2 weeks, um, just because I've been trying to beat Cold Steel. But this one, back to Silent Witch, like Casey betrays her, but you see, like she knew that it was Casey who messed with her thing, and I thought it was the other girl. I thought it was the girl who like tried to poison her who messed with her stuff. Um, but I was wrong there, and it was actually I did not see Casey like going to betray her, and the only reason why is she's petrified that the prince, who is like the duke's puppet, as they call him, even though he doesn't come off like that when you speak to him and you listen to him speak to that salamander or whatever white lizard or whatever it is. Um,
Probably a familiar of some kind.
yeah. It is a familiar, and it's I did not see that coming, and I thought it was a really nice twist. And you see Monica, who's like, "You're my friend, and I know you did this to me, but I know you just tried to kill the prince, but I don't see you as like evil." And it's like she sees that she's scared of what's going to happen because, like she said, her country or whatever it is, her town or whatever, doesn't have an army that, and they'll just get wiped out. And then there's Cyril, like Lord Ashley, and Lady Ashley, who are just hilarious. Like one's Yandere, who's like, "You stay away from my fiance or I'll kill you." And then the other one is like a lapdog for the prince, like, and they make fun of him and they do like the puppy animation. And then he's totally in love with Monica, and I'm pretty sure he knows Monica's the one who saved him. And then you also have not Neil. What's the other one's name? Glenn. Then you have Glenn, who's like this super powerful mage, but like is not is like kind of crazy. So he doesn't always get what he has. And then there's the barrier mage, and then you also know, or there's also the mage of thorns or the sage of thorns, who helped with the barrier defense. And there's just so much cool stuff. Like even the cat's cool. What's the cat's name?
Oh, I'm blanking on the cat's name.
Nero? No, not Nero. Nero. Is it Nero? Okay.
It's Nero.
Okay. And then Crimson, this is on your list too. So Crimson, I said this is my number one.
This is my number 4. And I'm glad you guys are still talking about it because I really do enjoy the hell out of this series. Like, this is another one that took me by surprise this season. Like, there were some, I was expecting some like big time wins. There were a lot of ones that just came out of left field that were really, really good. This is one of them. I like that it is like generally it's been pretty tame so far. And one of the big things that I think that really sells this is its main character has a lot of endearing qualities to her. Like obviously there's she's this like shy little witch. I feel the need to protect her, the moe element to it. But at the same time, there's a lot of other things to her that I do find very fascinating, like the whole math obsession. It's just an interesting little quirk that I find very entertaining. Like she gets very, very passionate. I can kind of identify with that because the way she is with math, that's kind of how I am with just like fiction in general, particularly anime. I get really, really obsessive over things, so I understand it. At the same time, you also see her, coming out of her shell over the course of this whole series, where like she meets people who are just like generally understanding of her, and in spite of the fact that she does have this trauma with her family and with the nobles and everything, you see her slowly like opening up to the people around her and making friends and being on good terms with them. There's a lot of charms to this series. I think its cast is good, but the best part of it is the main character, and that is how it should be. Your main character should be outshining just about everyone else, and that's how I feel that this series is. And otherwise, like the story, it doesn't really define what the story is. Like it doesn't really give you like an enemy that you're looking for, or like a reason to protect the prince. You're just sort of like given like Monica is on a mission to protect the prince. Someone's trying to kill him. Good luck. And along the way, there are a couple of like random misadventure type things that happen, like leaving the maid up in the attic for a week. Or Monica has this way of task failed successfully completing everything. There's a lot of good things about this one. I wouldn't say it's a number 1, but it is definitely far better than what I had pegged it for at the beginning of the season. I saw the title, I kind of saw the cover of it, and like the premise, I'm like, all right, well, this might be a good like high C, low B kind of fantasy, something that I'll enjoy. No, this is like an A or an S.
Yes, I think it's worthy of getting a nomination for Anime of the Year, but Apothecary Diary is too good that like I don't see anything beating it. But Soul Leveling season 2 is going to win because retardation.
Did I ever tell you guys that I was arguing with Solo Leveling fans and they legitimately told one of them legitimately told me that story gets in the way of action?
Yes. I remember this conversation.
I'm pretty sure I might have brought it up. It's just to this day it baffles me that that's actually a thing that some people have said to me.
No, that's a thing, man. That's why that's why some people like The Last Jedi, because of that scene where it goes completely silent and the ship blows up, but it makes zero sense. Nothing makes sense in that entire scene.
The only reason that scene is
Cool.
memorable to me is because in the theater, when that whole thing happened, it was completely silent, and there was one like 6-year-old little girl in the theater who was just like, "Wow!" at the top of her lungs.
That's dude. I woke up maybe like 5 minutes before that in the theater because of how boring that movie was. So whenever someone goes, "Hey, what you think of the casino scene?" I was like, "There was a casino scene." I slept through the entire scene. All right.
I couldn't sleep. I was actually recovering from surgery when I went into that movie, so like I couldn't bend my leg properly to sit in the seat, so it was really uncomfortable. So I was double suffering because I that movie sucked. I did walk out of it in denial, trying to convince myself that it didn't suck, but upon further investigation, I concluded that it did in fact suck.
As I was leaving, I was like, "Man, Star Wars sucks." And I left. I was like, "Man, something I used to love." Like I even like The Force Awakens because I was always pro Empire and I wanted Han to die, and Han died. And he died in the most embarrassing way possible. So I was like, "Yeah, I love it." Because as we know, I'm fucked in the head. All right, so let's go to my number 5. Rui Rocks.
Which is my number 2.
There you go.
Respectable.
Now, the addition of Seto, right? That's how you say your name, Seto?
Shoko Seto, yes.
Okay. So I think with the addition of Seto, this is what put this above My Dress Up Darling for me. And they fixed Amari's ass. So Amari's ass was good in this last episode again. So
That's because it was fine in the last episode.
No, it wasn't.
You still haven't provided any evidence that
see.
I showed it last week.
Biggles, we only promised to not send you over Kaiju number 8. We didn't promise not to send. We never promised anything about not sending you over the ass.
They fixed the ass. Okay, that's all that matters.
The
Okay,
ass was fine. It was perfectly fine.
No, it was flat last week, and this week the round shape.
You know what else is flat?
My chest.
Fair enough. I really don't know where I was going with that.
I thought you were going to say Rui as like a transition.
No.
All right.
I was gonna make a flat Earth joke, and I'm like, no, that just makes me sound like I actually believe in that shit.
I would have laughed. I would have been like, "Yeah, who doesn't know that?" You know, just like going. All right, so obviously one of the big things of this is Nagi, of course, but what I
Big
really
in a lot of ways.
Yeah, exactly. But what I really like about this show is like how the 4 of them interact. And now Amari gets like more like time to shine because Seto likes her. And then Seto now has a friend and Ruri has a friend. So now they have friends their own age that are into the same thing. They do a science project together. And I feel like since they added Seto, it went a higher level than what it already was, because it's really just a show about rocks, right? And Rui's love of shiny things and Nagi's love of like going and getting the rocks and Imari's.
I do like the addition of Seto, but not because she's Imari's like protege in this one, but more so that she's Ruri's friend, someone who enjoys the same hobby. I like it a little bit more from that perspective than any other. And that's a thing like that I find compelling. Like someone, struggling with like
Having
their
friends.
interests are pretty niche. They feel like people don't really understand it, and then you make a friend who finally understands what you're actually into. And it means the world to you.
Is that why you're always here on Mondays, Crimson? We mean the world to you. Are
I
we your
refuse to answer that question. Call me a tsundere, okay? Whatever the fuck you want. Fuck you, Biggles. You stupid fucking. I can't say those words. Can't say those words.
Crimson are soon to ray elite Gooder Knight. Okay.
I also did you catch this week's episode when Rory was like, Amari's explaining things?
Yeah. She's like, it's usually, and then I think the notes even said like Amari's notes this time. So I like the little notes. I didn't read all the notes this week like I usually do, but I was having so much issues with Crunchyroll that I might just watch everything on my computer. Like when you're getting bad like subtitles not showing up or like certain things not going up. And I think
Crunchyroll subs are Crunchyroll in general has just not been good.
and I think one of the reasons why I put this over not or over Santa Claus, like Rascal Doesn't Dream of Santa Claus, is because there's been issues every time I want to go watch uh uh Rascal Doesn't Dream of Santa Claus. I have issues with the sub, so I have to stop what I'm doing and then go watch it a different day, which takes me away from what I had planned to do. So it's like now I have to plan. It's no or Santa Claus is no longer like a Saturday or Sunday thing. It's now like a Monday thing for me because I can't watch it on the day it comes out because there's always an issue. So because of Crunchyroll sucks, and I think that also made Ruby Rocks my number 5. So go ahead, little chat. It is your number 2. So explain why it is your number 2.
Waifu supremacy? I mean, come on.
He wants a piece of that fat ass. That's why.
Are you telling me that she's not one of the best designed characters?
Were you not here for me slobbering over her the other week?
I know, I'm kidding. And by the way, the art that Crimson brought to our attention that was official promotional art.
Yeah.
There was no coming back after that. And once I saw that, it's like, all right, this is a top 3 show of the season. But it's also just, it's fun. It gives you, there's infotainment shows in anime. We know that. Like Okinawa Girl was a way to work on language skills. I mean, they do this a lot. Mm-hmm. As infotainment anime shows go, this one is really well done. They give, fun characters. You character first, right? Good character design, good character personalities makes me want to actually watch them as they're looking for sapphires, or in this case, looking for that special zinc that they found this week. Seto, as Crimson said, I think is a good element because in addition to everything else, I like the different personalities that are being highlighted. Mm-hmm. And the idea of finding a mentor that suits you as a big like cheat code for being able to achieve more in life. Because while Ruri obviously connects with Nagi like 100%, like Seto clicks with Amari, and having that mentor figure, because I think when they did the flashbacks, it was no mistake when they showed how devastated she was over hearing her parents. Mm-hmm. So finding Amari, who is an older parental figure, mentor for her, giving that reassurance, giving her the ability to choose and feel confident in pursuing her passion, that is also a very reasonable and very good job. Like there's a lot of prospects, good prospects for people with mineralogy and geology and education. It was really weird to hear parents like knocking that because this is this is the kind of thing where you can get a very high paying job doing exactly what they're showing them doing in oil exploration, I know this is, it's not popular to talk about fossil fuels and things a lot, but they hire people to go do the tests on the mineralogy of the
Yeah.
zones before they dig.
Yeah, it was really weird to hear like parents who were just like, yeah, let's discourage her from pursuing a higher education and everything.
That's because they only want them to be corporate slaves. You must live behind a desk.
I
Yes.
refuse.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is,
That's why I swing a hammer for a living.
which is actually going to protect you from AI for a long time. So, a lot longer than the rest of us.
Not economic recession though.
When, we'll see. What I was going to say is like, again, now we've got I would say we've got the full set of the full spectrum, right? We've got Nagi as like final form, fully capable mineralogist, geologist. We got Rory as girl who's really just excited about sparkly things, but that is giving her a journey into actually learning about the science and mechanics of what she needs to do. Like, I thought it was funny with her getting so bored with doing the water testing, but that turned out to be very important. But it was still something she did. And you got Amari, who's kind of more the introverted, very silent witch like kind of person who gets really lost in their own, I guess, studies. And
Mhm.
Seto, who is the quiet girl who was kind of feeling like she had to hide what she really liked because of all this pressure, who's now finding connections with people who enjoy the same thing. In a lot of ways, it's like finding friends who enjoy anime, right? Like it's a kind of thing where the culture, like you're usually running into people who try to make you feel bad about really liking it, and then when you connect with people and you're like, oh yeah, this is awesome, you like it too, that's great. I just think this is it's a fun, positive show. It's got great character design and probably the best genes I've ever seen animated
I know,
in my
right? They're the
life.
hardest working genes in all of anime.
They are, and
The
they had
Maori's
another,
probably number two.
and yeah, they were doing some hiking again today, so they were going for it. So
There was a lot of them this
and
week.
it's a different kind of anime. Like I see so much fantasy, I see so much just like regular school life. It does, even though it's kind of school life, I would guess slice of life kind of adjacent. It still
It's
gives me a different vibe.
educational. It is kind of slice of life. It's kind of hard to classify this one, to be entirely honest. Like slice of life is really the only thing that does the best at catching everything.
Mhm. And it's also like educational, so that's cool too. So
Yeah, so I think I'm in a place where I was ready to have like really enjoy an anime that wasn't fantasy or romance or isekai, and this
I'm
really just hit a sweet spot.
I'm always down to miss romance. I don't need it. It's overrated. Um,
Well,
yeah,
yeah, that's because you're
any-
gay.
yeah, sure. Let's go with
We
that.
no,
That works.
we promised we wouldn't rile him up over Kaiju number 8. Okay.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
then he talked about not wanting romance, and never
Yeah,
go
I
ahead.
don't want romance. That's why my dress of darling really rocks. All right, let's go to my dress up darling, and that's because it's not on my list, but I have to go do something real quick. So it's all you guys.
All right, Crimson, where was it on yours?
This was my number 2.
This was all right. This was my number 4. Yeah, so I guess I'll start since I had it lower. I mean, it's a continuation. The character, I think they've really done a good job of not losing any momentum from the first season to the second, which is always a risk. They've continued to expand the supporting characters. Marin has continued to be just a delight. Gojo is continuing his growth. Like, I mean, where she's helping him find, again, it's almost very similar to what I just finished with Rory Rocks, where he's finding a support system. He's seeing that people can appreciate his passion and he doesn't have to feel shamed about it. And there's people who genuinely actually are excited of working with it. It's got great comedy bits. The fish in the aquarium is a great great scene that should be a meme for for years to come in anime circles. So and I know that they've toned down some of I guess you could say they've toned down some of the fan servicey elements that were in the first season. They were a little more, I think they were a little more overt early on because they were, they were building the relationship then. And this time they've been more focused on the character elements, which I'm fine with because this is the phase where they should be growing, like as, their relationship where Marin is already in love and knows it. And Gojo is still trying to work his way up to understanding he is too. So I'm okay with the fact that she's not just stripping into a bathing suit and saying, "Measure my bust," like as like the famous first episode of the first season. So it's really solid. I think because it's the second season, I didn't rate it as high, even though I'm gonna rate a second season one as my number one. this this one it's great, but it's probably the best romance so far. Continuation, clearly head and shoulders romance above. And I know you had Fragrant Flower. I haven't gone rode the high seas to watch that one yet since so I probably might have that one in there. I've also really enjoyed Rascal's new season, but I just think this one is the better, just more approachable and fun, kind of breezy romance.
Yeah, as far as this goes, like as a series, uh, I've liked this second season. I know a lot of people might that I've talked to haven't liked it as much as the first, but I was someone who continued reading the manga after the first season ended. It was actually one of the first mangas I ended up picking up, and I have really, really liked it. So I'm really enjoying seeing some of the things that uh start around this time in the story like happen in the anime because I know where they're going and I just have to laugh at like, oh, that nobody knows what's gonna fucking happen with this. But it's one of those shows where like it was one of the anime that like everyone has that show, I think, where like it has like a personal impact on like an impact on their life or like gives them some sort of like perspective on something that they just hadn't thought about or considered. This was one of those, and like it was one that I actually watched when I was just getting into anime and was still kind of like like iffy about like being open about the things that I enjoy. And then I get to this show and it's just like, yeah, just have fun with it. Fuck what the haters say, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what? I really get where Wakana is at this point in his life. So like, you know what? Maybe I will just say fuck it and enjoy what I want, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that is now why I do YouTube and why I talk about so much anime and devote like 90% of my life to keeping up with this stuff. But I mean, Marin S tier waifu. I don't think there's really any arguing about that. Like, she's just a great character. And the whole dynamic between her and Gojo, and just it's great. Like her personality, it's the type of like bubbly, happy, very fun kind of person that I enjoy having on screen when it comes to these sorts of shows. I don't really think like it's one of my favorites romance anime of all time. Like there's Love is War, there's Horimiya, there's this, Dangers in My Heart. All of them are just great, to be entirely honest. Like I love all of those. This one is up there simply because I think it has a really great message. And in spite of a lot of people wanting to reduce it to the fan service, it's still very, very well written. The characters are done well. The animation holds up, even for like a romance. Like it's one of the better animated anime out there. I don't think you can argue that it's not. Like it's good.
So, Crimson, I need you to tell me what's wrong with this sentence about this anime. The writer is misogynist because he draws Mar in that way. What is the thing wrong there?
I saw this post, and I'm pretty sure everyone here knows that the writer of this series is a woman.
There you go. So get over it, people. Women write about women. Okay. But yeah, I like this one too. More like the relationships between like everybody in their group and their class and like the other cosplayers. Like relationships are cool. I don't care about the romance, but
You see,
get her.
I really enjoy when people are just good to each other. So this series really like just presents something that I really enjoy. It's just a bunch of people, enjoying their hobby, having fun, and being nice to each other.
Yeah. We can't all be like me and Crimson where we talk shit to each other all the time.
Yeah, I have to be a brutal, abusive piece of shit to Biggles, or else he gets too attached.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. Did little Chad say everything he wanted to say about this, or did Crimson?
I started. Crimson finished because he's much more eloquent about this stuff.
All right. And what spot was this for you guys?
I'd like to say it was my English major in college, but I don't think it has anything to do with that.
It was number 4 for me.
Okay.
This is number 2 for me.
Okay. Okay. So number 4, number 2. So let's go into my number 4 then. The one that we were supposed to talk about every week, but you guys don't watch it because you guys hate me.
It's not that I hate you. It's just like there are a bunch of things going on for me right now, and I still need to catch up on Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus because I watched the whole first season of that show to try and watch it this season. I just have not been able to find the time to get to it, especially I still have 4 Evangelion movies to watch over the next 2 days.
I have faith in you.
I'll do it.
I have faith in you.
I'll fucking do it.
I have faith in you. But this one has actually got me 20 new subscribers. We do a review every week on this one, and I've just been loving it. So like Atelier was was like sold into slavery because her uncle murdered her parents and was like trying to steal her inheritance. So like that's a crazy backstory. And then like Dennis works way too hard and like gets sick and she has to take care of him. And then there's the other outcasts who all got kicked from their party that are like the regulars of his thing. Well, some of them didn't get kicked out. Dennis like told them like she's leaving your party because you guys are mistreating her. So they're like the outcasts of their parties. And like this most recent episode, like the first part of it was like a party and then it goes really dark. So I really like how this anime balances the good from the dark. And then we have the paper bag Dennis. In this week's episode, we have a bucket on Dennis's head. Like Dennis plays all these different roles as the cook, right? And it has like a good backstory. There's some good world building. All the people that he has like helped these people with destroy his restaurant. And instead of getting revenge, while everybody else is ready to get revenge for him, like other regulars that like don't actually have names, they're just like regulars in the thing that like end up having important parts to that week's episode when they're in there. Like the 2 girls that stopped the fire this time, they didn't stop the fire, but they caught the guys that started the fire. Or in the first one, they're the ones who, or not the first episode, in the second episode, they're the ones that say the thing that allows Dennis to save Henrietta. So there's so much cool stuff in here. It balances lights and dark. Instead of, I was kicked out of my party, but unlike S-Rank Adventurer, it's not like, oh, no one knew I was good. Like there is an argument, I think in like episode 6 between the redhead Katie, the vice captain of the strongest guild, with the leader. And they're saying, hey, listen, we needed Dennis. Like, why'd you get rid of him? And like the main reason was he wanted to sleep with the redhead. So he like got rid of him so he could try to win her heart. and that backfired, and now everybody is like hating him. So him and like the others like went after Dennis, and there's just so much cool stuff that happens in this show, and I really like what's going on in this show. Let's see what Marcel says. On My Dress Up Darling, I think this season is much weaker than the first one. Gojo getting support of his schoolmates was good, but other than that, I enjoy it a lot less. And is that because there's less fan service? Oh yeah, a whole lot of less fan service. There we go. I know Marcel. I have known Marcel for what, a couple months now. I've learned. I've learned what's important to Marcel.
Pattern recognition.
Yeah. Have they showed the vampire cosplay, or was that in the first season?
That was in the first season.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I keep seeing stuff for like to buy like Marin vampire, and I was like, I don't remember it in this season, but I guess season one I watched so long ago that I don't remember a lot of season one. Let's go into Clevitas.
Yeah.
So where's
Yes.
this on yours, Crimson?
3. This is number
Little chat.
3.
Number 3.
Well, number 3.
Hey, the stars align.
Just missed a home run. Okay, so this is number 3 for all of us, and I assumed this would be number 3 for all of us. Why did I assume that? Because I knew you two would have Don to Don before that, and I figured you guys would have My Dress Up Darling before that, or at least for little Chad, Rui rocks. Because
I'm a simple man.
Because he is a man of culture, and he says Rui, or not Rui, Nagi reminds him of his wife. So, obviously,
Yeah, that's how he justifies it so he doesn't get in trouble, right?
I'm looking at her geology degree hanging up in my office right now.
Yes, but does the important part remind you of your wife? That's the only thing you need to feel.
Not doxing anybody, but yeah.
All right. So, Clevitas got even better last week. The last 2 weeks have been awesome.
So yeah, as far as that goes with this latest episode, with the bug dude and everything, it did confirm something that I had kind of like stated was my active theory as to what was going on. With Drell being in league with a Beast Lord.
Dark Lord, yeah.
So that was interesting. It makes a whole lot of sense now how he was able to pull that shit off.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes sense as to why he's doing what he is doing. So really good storytelling for this one. Not sorry to hijack it, but like we kind of started with me, and I mean we all have this as number 3, so I'm just going with it.
Go for it.
Like this one is another one that survives pretty heavily on its storytelling. Its animation can be really good at times, but I feel like it mostly uses that for short bursts, like in scenes where like Clevitas is doing Clevitas things.
Or when she's using the regalia.
Yeah, or when she's using the regalia.
Was it Stream Splitters or
Stream Splitter, I believe, yes.
I really enjoyed the thinking outside the box. Like, hey, you're all made of water. Come on, put it together, hero.
Yeah, no kidding. That was pretty interesting. A little overpowered, but I'm just glad that this fucking insect user got what he deserved.
Oh yeah, fuck that little.
That little twat. he deserved. Honestly, I would have just gone straight for the fucking head chop. Just like taking it right off his shoulders. But
right.
No, we got to question him and figure out what's going on here. And I'm also glad with the workaround they've done for the sealing spell in this one.
Because he has that the dark ichor, so he's able to like go in to where she is and talk to her. But I like how now there's a Clem and a Clevitus. Like Clevitus is stuck in there, but Clem's still out. Like he was able to have the body of the humanoid.
Yeah, which is going to be it's actually, when you have the OP character, you have to figure out a way to right size their power set for, because otherwise it's like, hey, we know that at any given moment Clevitas could just wipe out the continent, right? Like, so how do you address that? How do you make, in this case, they came up with a very good way, and it's a little different than I thought they would, but I think it's smart because now you're separating it out, so he's no longer an OP character. He's got to live, because we've seen already within this bodily frame, he takes damage, he loses fights. You know, he's not built to just conquer kingdoms as this one. So it's a good way to, in a way, increase the importance of the hero. You know, so that she's not just, she's going to have even more burden now because she's got to be the main for realsy bodyguard to take out and handle these threats. I'm also intrigued to see what the whole idea about how they're processing these magic crystals that are in being implanted in these in the wizards for the army and giving them their power set. So, there's a lot of cool elements that are going on, and I like that general was a general Bar, what was his Crimson? What's his name? Drill, the bad general. Yeah. Like once he sealed Clevitas, he left. Right, he's not even around. Like I like it when when the side characters are working on their own ambitions and their own agenda, and you can see that they're not just being put in a place to run into the heroes. Like he's moved on and left, and they're gonna have to work towards him. But well written. It's got it's got a good occasional humor, like making fun of, you're just a dumb hero, aren't you? Come on, think of these things. Like, come on, just do it.
You're embarrassing me with how long you're taking to defeat such a weakling, right? Or something like that.
Yeah. So all right, fine. I'll let you have the sword since I guess you need it. Here, we'll give you access to it because I don't have time to wait for you. But from the start of the series till now, I mean, it hasn't pulled punches. It's killed people. It's given everybody a solid backstory and motivation for what they're doing. I think the animation quality is fairly good. Especially when they're really putting the effort into the Clevitas and some of the action scenes where they go the extra mile. I like the character designs. I like the fact that she's a more functionally immortal, but she still feels pain, and it still f's her up, and so it's not a pleasant thing. It's like when you hear a lot of people talking about Subaru's power, like why doesn't Subaru just tank? As like he takes mental trauma and it hurts it's a
Death is
terrible
an
experience.
excruciating experience.
Yeah.
It's not something that you want to continue to, suffer through every fucking time.
And it's like, how do you tell me you've never really watched ReZero without telling me that? You tell me that Subaru should just tank killing himself constantly to do whatever he wants. It's like,
Subaru
no.
should kill himself constantly because he's Subaru. There we go.
So, I mean, so in this case, we get like when she was at the slaver camp and she fell down, the cliff down towards the lake, and she was just wrecked. And she's like, this is gonna hurt. Because when the bones, it reminds me a little bit of the scene that Gunn put in the new Superman movie, like where he got effed up. And so the robots put him into like concentrated sunlight to get his body to heal, but it still hurts. And like the bone, like healing and getting back in place is gonna not be a pleasant experience. Like it's gonna hurt a lot.
It's like when you break your nose and they go, and you're like, ah.
I've never broken my nose, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, so I mean, as this is probably the best pure fantasy show of the year. Not even no isekai involved, so people don't have to be like, oh no, it must be an isekai because it's fantasy. No.
Yeah, like Freeman.
Yeah, I think I also enjoy that so far. and I say so far, we've gotten different environments than the standard like moated circular city
Mhm.
that you just hang out in a fantasy world.
Mhm. I also like the time period that this is set in. That's one thing I do like point out pretty regularly. Like they're just starting to discover magic, so it's like a really really new thing to this world. So it's interesting to see like that the development is basically at the phase of we are just now learning how to wield like this art, like this crazy supernatural power. So like it does present, it's not like a known entity, it is a completely new way of fighting, so there's always some.
Yeah, and I like how Clevitas and the other like upper echelon beasts are like, this shit is OP. We need to knock this down and look into why these humans are suddenly able to go toe to toe with us with this magic thing. So it's
We
like,
need to, and they're also like, we need to get back our kids because they're using it to steal them.
you feel
Right.
like for ostensibly hundreds of years, the only way the humans had been able to attack them was getting those special red forged weapons and going after them and getting fucked up by whatever magic beast they tried to like really take on. And now these guys are dealing with the fact that humans through magic are like, oh, they've innovated a way to actually kill us. We might have to deal with it.
Mhm. So yeah, one of my things that I really like about this show happens to be how like it starts and how they deal with the stuff, or like how they have to deal with each thing. Like when you meet them, there's these heroes that are going to go fight this boss, right? And they go to give a speech. He kills them all in like 15 seconds. He gets rid of them like as fast as Trunks got rid of Mecha Frieza after Frieza like took like 70 episodes to get killed by Goku, you know? Uh, and I just like how it's doesn't waste time. It's like this guy is strong. He's going to fuck you up. And they did it in like one episode with Drell. Drell met Clevitas. He used his spell, sacrificed himself. Basically, the Dark Lord took over him and the sword. And like now he's not a human anymore. And he's just like, all right, I'm going. And he got his stuff, right? So I really like how they do that stuff. They don't waste time. The pacing is good because there was one thing that I was watching. Oh, Shield Hero, right? Let's talk about Shield Hero for a second. With Shield Hero, the first 4 episodes could have been done in 2. And now it's just dragging on. And I'm just like, I am bored. And here, everything is fast paced, and you're like, go, 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 right? Um, and the Mets score another run, 13-3. Let's go. Okay, yeah. So Clevitas is my number 3. I'm loving it.
I don't see. I don't. If Clevitas, I wouldn't even say fast paced. I would say right paced because Shield Hero is like annoyingly,
Slow.
exceedingly slow. This is not like, and this on the other hand is not like the beginning after the end with their Temu Tensei animation where they speed run shit and
Mhm.
just skip over giant swaths of things happening. This is a John Wick style appropriately fast paced, not even fast, appropriately paced show. You
Mhm.
have slight downtime moments where you can get some character, but then it's moving to the next beat timely enough that you're not feeling like, oh, this is a slog. And when anime seasons started getting cut down from the 20 to 30 episode count that they used to have in the
Mhm.
old days to these 12, 10, 12, 13 episode counts, Clevitas is exactly how it should be getting, done. Like where you're moving at a nice brisk pace without having any kind of, like superfluous BS stuff that slows things down and screws up your pacing.
What was the fan service in this week's episode?
When her uniform split a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't really think that fan service is a necessity in anime. I think that's, I don't know, a dumb way to go about looking at it because
Sully
I'm
was supposed to
honestly
be really, really bad.
I'm honestly far more concerned with storytelling than anything else.
Mhm.
But hey, it is what it is. As far as Clevitas goes, again, this is one where like the animation, I would give it an A. It could like it's really good when it wants to be, but a lot of times it does feel like it is, cutting corners on certain things. There are certain parts of the show that just aren't as good. But storytelling is where it does shine. It is very well paced. It does things like it does things thoroughly. That's generally how I would describe it. Is it's not cutting corners when it comes to telling a story, and everything feels like it is a logical and well thought out story, to where the pacing feels right to it because you're getting a lot of information about the world and everything. You're not skipping large swaths of happenings just because the author didn't feel like it. There's a lot right about it just narratively that makes it such a good anime to watch.
I get upset when the episode's over. I'm like, wait, that was 22 minutes already? Oh, what the fuck, man? Like, it's crazy. All right. Um, let's go to my number 2. Unless you guys have more you want to say about Clevitas.
No, I think we covered it.
All right, that sounded like closing statements too. All right, so Kaiju number 8, season 2 is my number 2, and the only reason why it's number 2 right now is I really prefer the training arc that's about to happen over the first part. I always thought this first part could have been like a movie, um, but I have really enjoyed it. Like, we got to see uh, Renault tried to take on number 6, like just the weapon, and we got to see like the complete like destruction of his body, like the complete takeover. So you get to see how these weapons work. Like earlier, you were hearing, oh, it like shortens your life and all this, and you see the pressure it put on director Shinomiya, and you see the fights, you see how they really affect it, and like this episode really showed that for Renault. And then you have Kafka and Captain Army and Shinomiya fighting number 9, and that fight is great. Like I've been loving the fights between them. Um, we get the backstory. Shinomiya finally gets the praise from her father just for him to die like 10 minutes later. We get the rivalry week where we see 3 and 1 going at it, the 3rd and 1st division going at it. We get Ian Sinclair in the dub this week. So we got Ian Sinclair. I really like the cast. Both the dub and the sub are good. In the first season, the dub kind of had some like things like Dookie Duty in the first episode, but they ended up like going more towards. It's a lot closer to the sub than most other animes. It doesn't add like a bunch of slang, so I really like what it does. And we're going to get to see some of my favorite characters again. So I'm looking forward to more of it. And there's just like a lot of cool aura farming moments in this. And I do really like the story. So if you guys want to say anything about this, or we could just go to Don.
I mean, I'll comment on it. I do enjoy Kaiju number 8 for as much as I do poke fun at
Yeah.
you. It's just I'm not as big on this series as many people are. It's as simple as that. It's like I enjoy the action, but the story's never really been for me. I don't hate it, but it's not something that I'm as invested in as you, Biggles.
So for me, my point, I also same camp. It's like it's a perfectly good anime to me, but I feel like Solo Leveling did the guy who was no powered getting overpowered and fighting like Solo Leveling is doing the action better on the anime than I think. I mean, I'm not trying to pick a fight. I'm just
Oh, it's
saying.
okay. Little Chad is one of those action over storytelling.
Well, no, what I'm saying is I think Kaiju number 8, as Crimson is saying, is kind of weak on the story anyway. And it's a victim to the fact that Solo Leveling is a very, very similar story. Like, super similar story. And I think Solo Leveling is slightly better in executing it than what Kaiju number 8, at least for me watching it. So, since they're coming out at the exact same time, I think it's falling victim to recency where I just feel like Solo Leveling was doing it better.
Okay, that's fair. My biggest
I
problem.
still think Kaiju number 8 has a better story than Solo Leveling.
It's way better story, and they're not really that similar. Other than Kafka was weak and now he's strong. They're
Maybe.
they're different.
Yeah. Well, I don't. Plus, I also you get sister leveling out of Solo Leveling, and that's hilarious.
So the parody is better than the actual anime.
The parody is a better story than the anime story.
Yeah.
100%.
Have they done one for Kaiju number 8 yet? Because I feel like Kaiju number 8 is ripe for some parody too.
No, but I did send you guys that picture of my my thing with Rachel looking at to the left, and it says boobs, and then it's the parody for My Dress Up Darling, where she's like, with so
Equip boobs.
but yeah, my biggest problem with this is look at the character designs. My zoom in doesn't actually fix it. Look at the character designs. They are so much better in the manga. They're like very bland.
They are pretty bland as compared to the manga. I will give it that.
If they were like the manga, I think more people like my friend. She doesn't like this because of how they look. So she read the manga and she likes the manga, but she doesn't like the anime. That makes some of these fights that were just like okay in the manga, like great in the anime.
Yeah, it's like I like Wit Studios' version of Attack on Titan's art style more than the manga style. This is kind of like the opposite situation where like the manga style was just better and they kind of ruined it in the anime.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's like what was that one show you guys made a joke that I had to watch? It wasn't a villainous show. It was a priestess. It was a priestess thing. And one of the people in Brandon that anime's chat was like, man, the manga artwork is so much better. And I was like, man, Kaiju number 8 has the same problem. And like that one's just awful. It's like Guts, or not Guts, that's the main character. It's like Berserk, like 2016 or whatever year it came at 2017 art. Ugh.
It's 2016, and I don't need to. I was just having a conversation about this with someone not too long ago.
It's like that bad. But yeah, all right, let's go to your guys'. The next one is your guys' number 1, right? For both of you.
I believe so. I think we've covered everything on here.
All right, so we got our final number 1 coming up, you guys. And I want to start with this one before you guys go. That Beethoven episode didn't make much sense to me, but it was fucking awesome because I like Beethoven. So, yeah, I loved it. That was a great episode. Best episode they've ever done. All right, go for it.
Okay, so the Beethoven episode was really, really good. And it may not make the most sense, but, I mean, given the context of the show, it checks out. Like, it was basically just a short training arc, and we're moving into some really, really cool stuff. they got Bryce Pappenbrook in this upcoming arc for one of the characters who's going to be joining us.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, so yet another impersonation that I'm going to have to do at some point.
I hope he does an Osuke's voice.
I think from the start of the season, the second season here, it's just been the best kind of batshit crazy that Dan to Dan does that nobody else pulls off. The whole thing, I mean, we got the parody of X Japan, you know, with how do we do this right for the American dub? Well, how about we get Dragon Force and we get the singer from Dragon Force to do this? And like it's just this I feel like this is the kind of thing that only Dan to Dan has really done this crazy in the last 5 years. I mean, there's been a lot of stuff that's gone interesting, right, directions, but to have so many genres mashed up and to actually pull it off good, like pull it off well, the it's I just can't. And the use of music within the show, the kinetic movement, the animation, like the just the way the third eye moves when he's fighting in his combat style, it's I don't know. I just can't praise it enough. I think it's head and shoulders. And I know Biggles disagrees, but it's just head and shoulders because he's afraid of anything that references the banana.
Season 2 is a lot better. I'm starting to like the show a lot more. It's just my tastes are more like cutesy funny or like ridiculously stupid, but not where the main character kind of gets used as a joke a lot. And if it has a character like Gigi or Zenitsu or whatever the fuck the motherfucker's name is from Witch Watch, who I now like because he's calmed the fuck down.
Kaneshi or whatever his name
is.
Yeah,
the Tengu. If it has a character like that, it turns me off to the show. Like when Zenitsu is sleeping, that's the only time I like him. Or in the Infinite Castle arc where he's ready to fuck shit up. But other than that, like, it's really hard for me to like. It's not even that they're loud; it's that they're annoying while being loud. Like Asta is loud as fuck, but I can deal with Asta.
See, I actually find like idiot characters. Or like idiot main characters who are just like dumb as a bag of rocks, kind of obnoxious. So Asta annoys me more than Gigi.
See, I don't mind dumb characters, right?
But I kind of get what a little bit of what you're like saying with this. Gigi, he's an interesting character. I don't blame people for maybe not enjoying him that much because he can be a bit of an acquired taste, but I do think he actually, is a great addition to the whole story overall. And this is one where, like, you're right. It is pretty batshit when you get right down to it. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's literally just we're gonna do all the crazy cryptid shit that we possibly can in one spot, and that's why I enjoy it so much. Is it's a series that, while there are some moments where like the animators just decide, hey, let's slap on a bunch of food PNGs because we can. There are other times, like with the Beethoven episode here, it's really, really good. Like it's just crazy out there fun, and the animation is really good. I also just like that this is one of those stories that is a very simple, like action shonen formula, but it's done in a way that's actually very, very appealing because the main characters are largely likable. Okarun isn't a complete idiot. He's someone who's always, examining himself and like looking to improve and do things better. And like it's very focused on a lot of like other things. It's very wholesome in the way it portrays like the group's dynamic. Like even the rivals and stuff, they still all gather around the table and have that good family meal. It's very upbeat in the way it does storytelling, and I really do enjoy that. I can't emphasize enough how much that actually matters to me when it comes to a story. Is I can handle dark storytelling, but at the very end, I still like to have, some happiness or joy in it. I don't want to like sit here and be like, oh well, all of these people just, like suffered and died and yay. Um I digress. It's a show that like it's just fun. I like Okarun as protagonist because, like I said, there's always something that he's looking to improve about himself. And over the course of the series, he does change quite a bit. And it's not like some sort of like big focused thing. It's just like the experiences of this whole show make him more and more of an actual main character. This was one like the artwork for this series was fantastic. It's another reason why I really got into it. Is I picked up the manga on a whim. I'm like, this whole premise seems batshit insane. Picked up a volume digitally. I'm like, this is actually fire. Like this is fantastic. Tried to get my friends into it. They didn't really care as much for it. It didn't seem like something they would want to watch. Whatever. I enjoy the hell out of it. It's fun. It's a little bit quirky with some of the things that it does, but very creative, very heartfelt. The story is compelling. The characters I generally like. Overall, a fantastic adaptation and one that I do really love.
I would also say that sometimes you want something that showcases anime as a medium, in the fact that this is the kind of show that really only works and can be done in an anime form. If you try, I mean, if Netflix tried to make a live action adaptation of this, it would just fall
Everyone
apart.
would be black.
Yeah. Well, it'd fall apart for other reasons, like they'd cheap out on the effects. There'd be too many. They wouldn't be able to do a lot of the elements. Point being, it's like when they tried to do Cowboy Bebop in live action, it just didn't work, right? The craziness of that show, all the disparate elements coming together, is a very anime thing. So I like a show that is a highlight of the medium, that really shows how crazy and how awesome the medium of anime can be for giving you new ways to tell stories. Dan to Dan is a fresh mashup that I think, in my opinion, only would really work as an anime, and I like that. I give it extra credit for that part too.
It certainly ain't going to stop them from doing that adult parody of it.
I saw that.
Are
People
you
are like,
serious? They're making
yeah. There was someone who was like, "Is this really what you want, Don to Don fans?" And then I looked at the comments, and they're like, "Yes."
Dude, people are so fed up with the. I can't say that word because we're still live. The moral French baguetting of literally every series out here. Like, are you really want to do this? You really want to, you want to lewd this and that? I'm like, it's a fucking internet. They're gonna do it either way, whether we
Yeah.
want it or not. Second of all, it's literally anyone's fucking freedom of expression to go and make whatever art they want. So whether you want to argue that art is or that something is or isn't expression, well, you can go take that to the court for all I care. For now, I'm still rolling with the fact that it is perfectly acceptable under the First Amendment to do that kind of stuff. It's fiction. And why are you going to try and regulate someone else's, life on a moral basis? That's just stupid.
It's going to be Crimson.
Yes, I am playing Seiko in the upcoming Don Don porn parody. You weren't supposed to reveal that, Biggles. You were supposed to keep.
Damn it. I forgot. I signed an NDA.
Did you? I'm sure Crimson, you probably saw it, like the people on X who were going nuts in that one episode where she let her where she actually put her hair down, and
I may have, but I don't really keep up with like the gooning for Don because I'm not really like I personally don't care much for it. So I don't generally keep up with it myself. Um, but like I'm not gonna oppose someone who decides they want to go make something out of it. It's as simple as that. My tastes are somewhere else, mostly Nagi's ass and boobs. Just Nagi, okay? Just Nagi.
Nagi supremacy.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. See, I have a taste in women that I cannot describe. Okay, it's just I don't know how to
Thick.
describe it other than
Thick.
goddamn. Uh, there is no part of her that I do not approve of.
The official, I believe, descriptive phrase would be that ass. No, it's a good, yeah.
It's like when I did the Kowloon generic romance video. I did the whole meme of like on the floor on the just that applies again. And the only reason I didn't repeat it is because it would be a stale joke to just do it twice.
Yeah. So I mean, I think from the release of going to see it in the theater, I mean, Dan to Dan is just, I think, an excellent, crazy series that gives you all the best stuff. It reminds me of when I mean, and as disappointing as the second season was, the like when you first watched the first season of One Punch Man, and it was just so crazy and mixed so many disparate like superhero genre and shonen genre things all into one kind of mashup. And and I'm really happy because the second season of One Punch Man was shit, and the second season of Dan to Dan has been even better in some ways than the
Mhm.
first season. Especially, I love the Third Eye stuff and the music, and that exorcism episode is just so awesome.
Yeah,
Yes, because Crunchyroll
it's retarded.
own. Well, no, they are one of the
Sony Roll.
yeah,
They are
Sony
owned by
Roll.
Sony Roll. They are owned by
Solo Leveling is a Crunchyroll project. They're gonna give it the awards.
Well, it's also basically Crunchyroll's whole thing is the Normie Awards. They're going to give it to whichever one appeals to the masses. And the fact is, whether you like it or not, Solo Leveling does have mass appeal to
Mhm.
people who actually don't really care as much about story and more about just entertainment. And this is something I've been like doing a little bit of a breakdown on is there are two different types of people and one is the person who views art as entertainment, which is the solo leveling fans, and to a lot of the extent the Dandadan fans as well. Although Dandadan is a little bit more blended into both categories. The other is the group that views art as human expression, which would more so be the Freerun fans, people who look at a show and want to derive something from it, look deeper into it, and like find some sort of meaningful component to it that makes it satisfying. And there's no real wrong way to go about making or enjoying a series in some senses. But unless a series is specifically made for something, like you can't go looking for meaning uh inside solo leveling, and I wouldn't expect you to go into something like Evangelion looking for entertainment because that's not really the point of the show. Evangelion, Freerun, those are series built around that human expression. And the fact is, most normies are just focused on the entertainment. They're the people who enjoy things for the entertainment value they bring, not for the actual human expression, for the more artistic side of things. They don't care about the message or the storytelling or anything. They want flashy lights to distract them from how miserable their work schedule is. It's as simple as that.
I'm going to steal the show real quick because we were on the Gooner topic about Don to Don, and I got this for free. Um, I got this for free when I bought like a $200 giant ass picture or painting of Seto Kaiba and a Kaiju number 8 poster. So I got this and like a Jinwoo one for free. Look at that. Goon Squad. So she's got like she would be part
That's
of
actually a pretty good poster.
she's definitely in Crimson's Gooner Dice. But I just thought I would show that off.
What are you trying to make like a Gooner Power Ranger squad for him as the
Go Gunner Rangers!
No, okay, so did you guys? How do I make myself smart? Did you guys read any
Crouch,
of the
Biggles, hit the C.
Yeah, crouching. Okay, teabag. Okay, teabag button engaged. Okay, so you guys saw I was talking to Gronk and I had it write a whole anime about this our show and Crimson. I put Crimson the Dobby Mommy Long Cooner Night, and then I had Little Chad as the hero. And then I was just like, yeah, I'm just some guy who plays tactical games and talks about anime. And they're like, oh, you'll start yelling that it's in the spreadsheet on how you're going to do this turn. So like, you should make I could try to draw us as little characters. And just
Biggles makes spreadsheets about how he's going to talk about anime.
Yeah. And then I don't read, or then when I try to read them, I'm like, what is this word? It has 4 letters. That's too many.
That's too many syllables. Apologize. One of my favorite quotes from Borderlands. It's so stupid. That sentence had too many syllables. Apologize.
I used to play Borderlands a lot. Okay, so I can let you guys go back to what you were saying, but because I was interrupting everything for the Goonerness.
I think one of the big things that really did negatively affect Dandadan, and part of the reason why I believe it's not quite as popular was the whole Chibi reviews thing that happened earlier in the year. Where the guy is cringe and he fucking complains a lot about a lot of things to generate clicks on Twitter. Okay, valid criticism. But everything that happened surrounding the fan art situation was complete bullshit.
Was that the Okaroon voice actor drew or was like, yeah, he should be black, right? Was that
not necessarily. Basically Chibi made a post about how the animation for the opening scene where Momo is almost probed by aliens. He basically said the animation didn't need to go this hard, and people lost their fucking shit at him for it. So I think that did negatively affect the anime's reputation. But it is one of those ones that can be a little bit of it's a weird pill. It is definitely an acquired taste to some extent, because I'll be entirely honest, it's not for everyone.
Well, it's like when I did the Goblin Slayer breakdown, when I did breakdown on the Goblin Slayer with who was it? I don't think it was Last Talk to Mail. It was, oh man, I can't remember who it was. I'll have to go back and find out. But we got someone came in our comment section, and I honestly think it was one of my friends' friends. And they're like, how do you justify what happened in the first episode? And I was like, hold on a minute. First off, it's not as bad as it was. They don't actually show anything. It is heavily implied. And I was like, and you justify it because why do you think he is the way he is? He kills all these goblins because of what happened. This happened to another group, especially his sister, and this is why he hates goblins. This is why he's dedicated his whole life to killing goblins. Why? Because they're little grapey bastards, okay? So, yeah.
Wow, evil characters do evil things? Who'd have fucking thunk?
Yeah, and I was like, psh, come on, dude. That's how you justify it. Bad things happen. That's why good people have to step up and stop the bad guys. And that's exactly what Goblin Slayer did. But I understand the criticism for season 2. People are like, there's not enough goblin killing. And you're like, yeah, I also want to see more goblin killing. But that was like it was setting up all the story, and you still got to see plenty of goblins die in the second half. So yeah, but back to Don to Don. Anything else? Beethoven, fucking awesome episode. Fucking love
I
it.
think this upcoming episode is going to be really fucking good as well. With Okaroon versus Evil Eye.
Oh, good, because he was saying he really wants to kick Evil Eye's ass. So,
And then on top of that, we're also moving into the Kaiju arc. Which, if we're going with Don Don's track record, they're gonna cut it off right before the major reveal at the end of the Kaiju arc.
those bastards.
But it's another really good one, and we're gonna be introduced to Bryce Papenbrook's character,
Let's
Kinta
go. Let's go.
Sakata.
Let's go. All right. Let's talk about Shy Hero, and then I think we'll be done for the day.
I don't know if I've watched this one this week.
You didn't watch this one? They deal with the love, and Goa shows off. And Toto sees it, and she's like, "You didn't see that?" He's like, yes, I did." And like, it's just great. And then they pretend that they didn't remember any of the things they say. Goa's basically like, your hypnotism sucks, and then like counteracts theirs, and like Anemone and Cyril are like bowing down or like kneeling before Goa. Like, Goa's not someone to fuck with. It's great. I love this anime. I almost put it as my number 5, but like I said, if it wasn't for that like episode with of Rui Rocks adding like Seto and how like they interact and how Rui made friends, I probably would have had this as number 5 or My Dress Up Darling. But I love this anime, and it's not just because of Goa, but it's a big part because of Goa. But I love how like Toto tries so hard to defeat his weakness of passing out, and I think he passes out at the end of this one because the girls like
They all mob him.
Yeah, they all mob him. Titties on each arm, and then Cyril on like his leg because she's too small to be anywhere else.
Yeah, like I said, the combined effect of like work and other commitments that I was up to over the weekend meant that over the week, I should say, meant that not only was I incapable of like streaming like I had wanted to, I kind of couldn't keep up with a lot of the anime. So this is one that I'm gonna have to catch up on all the episodes for this one. And it'll be a long show on Saturday, so I'm sorry to anyone who missed that I wasn't streaming. I did my best to make a to like let everyone know. I posted about it on the community tab and everything. That's about all I can do for people who I don't talk to on the regular. It might help if I were to make a Discord or something for myself, but the issue is I don't want to deal with the fuckery that can come with having a Discord when you're an anime YouTuber.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to be held responsible for a bunch of fuckers going into the Discord and grooming people. I'm just not going to give it a platform for that. I don't want the drama around my channel because I can't really, it's not like I don't trust friends or anything, but it's not like I can pawn off moderating a Discord on them.
No one really talks in my Discord. It's just every now and then Swigs posts a meme about me being gay, or Chunk posts something about like a new game coming out, or me saying, "Hey, come check out my new video." That's it. That's all my Discord is now. And then tomorrow night we'll be watching some Demon Hunters. So yeah, there you go. But is there anything else you guys want to talk about, or
Can we talk about
I was going to say
Epic Fighter popping off?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
This
Epic
week?
Fighter.
Okay, yeah, I did see that one, so that was good. And I did also want to give honorable mentions to our reduced episode count series
Chocopi and Food
because
Court.
both of them were great, but for different reasons. Yep.
So, like, as far as Ugly Mug Epic Fighter goes, this is the second, like, alongside Silent Witch, this is the second one that really caught me off guard for how good it ended up being. Like, I thought this was just going to be like a really dumb throwaway that I'd watch like 3 episodes of and be like, whatever. But the more I get into it, the more I like it. And the more that White Fox decides, like, hey, you know what? We're going to show a little bit of our animation talent off with this one. And we're going to actually, make a good story out of this and have good characters and do some compelling stuff. And this is another one where you have like literally the most overpowered dude in the whole series, still having enemies out there who are potential threats to him.
Especially because they're a woman.
Yeah, that's true. Especially because they're all...
He's like, woman, my greatest enemy, my greatest weakness.
It's also funny how he kind of refers to himself as, I'm not great with women. You mean you disabled your ability to touch a woman? It's not that you're not good with women, it's that you have penalized yourself for ever encountering a woman.
I also the lore that went into it when he met his Almighty God counterpart, where we find out, I guess there's 3 fundamental needs or wants that if you put something in your special notes that it's what trips getting the bonus points super high. Clearly we know what one of them is because she said it.
Desire.
I'm wondering what the other 2 are though.
Wealth and power? Maybe?
I don't know. I'm intrigued because clearly there's people who had a lot more advanced knowledge of working the system to get those points. I think it was funny when she was like, did you go full negative on your looks? I wasn't bold enough to do that.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
And luckily for her and unluckily for us as the viewer, we didn't have our little cheat girl here who could read her stats to tell us, what was in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a very dynamic, very fun episode. They dropped lore dumps in addition to having the fight scenes that were fairly good.
This stupid ass, like, dumb little isekai story has done everything better than T-Bait. Like one of the most anticipated isekai of who knows how long.
Hey,
getting
this could be a top
outshined by Ugly Bastard the anime.
5. This could be a top 5 at the end of the season, depending on how it finishes. It's starting to get really good.
This and Gachiakuta really popped off these past couple of days.
Mm-hmm. I liked that episode of Gachiachika. Gachibachibachibachba.
Yeah, Jackal, what?
Jack off an elephant anime? What?
Okay, we're getting in some weird territory here.
Okay, yeah. That would Crimson wants the job.
Don't go jacking off elephants. Do not listen to Biggles. It's not a good idea.
Crimson wants the job before a donkey show where you got to lube up the donkey.
What?
Okay.
What? X motherfucking excuse me? What?
Have you been to a donkey
Biggles?
show?
No.
Want to?
Biggles, were you handling donkey dicks in another life?
Possibly.
I'm just wondering, like, when Biggles took that break a few minutes ago, did he ingest some chemical substances? Because he's getting a little off the rails.
No, I'm just really tired.
It's math. It's definitely
yeah.
math.
Yeah, I just have to go a couple the blocks down. There's
All right, that's really all I wanted to talk about was just that really quick because that one it really blew me away this week.
Anything else, guys?
I just would highlight Original Sin and Meet Me at the Food Court as being really great standout shows that just were only 6 episodes, so they didn't last.
Yeah, so we
And
didn't
make
talk
those.
about it because they're already over, and we talked about it in full.
Yeah, but in terms of doing like top 5, they were left out. But I think Crimson, me, and Biggles might have had at least
At
one
least
or
one of them,
both.
yeah.
You know, but all of us probably would have had at least one on our lists if they were in there, because they're definitely great ones from this season too.
Yeah, it's just they're already over, and we already talked about them. So I was like, yeah, let's just leave those off, because what more can we say about than we already said about them? Like we took an hour to explain See You Tomorrow
What
at the
can I
food court,
say except
right? I'm sorry.
you're welcome.
Oh yeah, Moana. My bad. All right. So anybody who sticks around, they're going to go to Joe's channel. Who she's playing Fortnite. I know Fortnite sucks, but she's my friend who's live. So I'm sending you there. I could send you to Beardo, but I wouldn't want to punish you, even though he's going to be in the game. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for being here. We're ending like 10 minutes early compared to normal. So we'll have to make it up another time. All right, you guys, have some fun and always remember, I fucking hate goblins.
Like hell we're gonna believe that. A goblin lord? My ass. You're just a damn goblin. Just a disgusting little goblin. And